Hey guys, Josh with Carl's Mower and Saw, and if you're watching this, you probably know what this is. There's all kinds of words: cut-off saw, demo saw, cut quick, concrete saw, that get thrown on this machine. And if you're a contractor and you're doing asphalt work, concrete work, pavers, pipes, metal cutting, you know how to use this tool. Today, I want to talk with you really quickly about how to maintain and care for this tool. This is one of the most abused tools on your truck. This is a tool that you cut, you run it hard, you throw it in the truck, and you forget about it. That's what you do. You pull it out, you pull the rope, you do your cutting, you throw it in the truck, and you forget about it. And we see these things come in just beat to snot. So really quickly, let's talk about some of the quick things. This is a 2-cycle machine. I'm sorry, I don't have my Moto Mix. I know you guys like to make fun of Moto Mix, Josh. So I don't have my Moto Mix here. I don't have my 2-cycle mix, my 2-cycle can right behind me, but this is a 2-stroke machine. So we're gonna mix fuel, Stihl HP Ultra, with a ethanol-free fuel. And if you're a light user, somebody who uses this randomly, or you're gonna store for long periods of time, now grab the Moto Mix. Now store it with the Moto Mix. Make fun of me, I can take it. So we know it's a 2-stroke. The 2-stroke fuel is gonna go right here in this, right here. We push down and we twist, and off comes the cap. And let's fill that baby up. And we've got a primer hiding right here. We're gonna pump this thing 4 or 5 times. We're gonna squeeze the trigger, we're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna choke it. Choke is forward towards the blade, the cutting disc. We're gonna pull the rope. Here are 2 things that I hear complaints about on the Stihl machines. You're maybe used to a different brand. One is it starts hard. Guess what? It doesn't. You're not used to it. And I get it. You're used to starting other machines. So really no more than 2 pulls on choke. Okay, I'm gonna pull the rope twice. 1, 2, and I am then gonna take the choke off. This thing will start on that 2nd or 3rd pull every time if we're running good gas and we don't flood it. And the other thing I hear complaints about, I know we're getting into, so you own, but the other thing I hear complaints about is, why is the starter on this side? I am so used to my chainsaw where it's here, right? Let me grab a chain. That's a big one that I grabbed. I'm so used to my chainsaw where that starter is here. Where's it at? Well, here's where it is. It's on the opposite. Well, why? Right here, guys, is the flywheel. Underneath this screen, this cover, is your flywheel, and all of my cooling air is coming in right here. Air blowing over the engine. Now, if I had my starter here, what's being sucked through that starter is concrete dust, metal shavings, asphalt crap. I mean, all this nasty stuff that we're cutting with this cutting disc, and the starters get crushed. So Stihl has moved it to the other side. I know it's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it and you understand, flip it to the other side, pull it with the other hand, you'll be good. You'll love it. Okay, so good fuel, how to start it without flooding it, good cutting disc. If I'm cutting asphalt or concrete, I probably don't want to run an abrasive disc. I'm probably gonna step up to a diamond wheel, a diamond cutting wheel. This is gonna have a lot longer life. You're not gonna have the wear out. You're gonna have a constant, consistent depth. So you're gonna be able to get through that 4, 5, 6 inch concrete to make a full cut if you need to do so. Water, run water when you're running a diamond wheel. That's gonna hook in right here. That's gonna keep that stone cool. It's gonna keep the dust down. Speaking of dust down, why do we wanna keep the dust down? One is the neighbors aren't gonna be complaining next door as it's blowing all over the place or covering you, or you're breathing it. The other is my air filter. Not only do you breathe that dust, this baby here breathes that dust. So right on the back, if I can find it, there are 4 screws. I'm gonna spin these screws off. And underneath is this beautiful paper filter that is stopping all of that stuff that's floating around in the air. And then this tight felt micronic filter sitting on the inside. Okay, so keep an eye on this. Stihl says with this machine, here's how you use it. It's crazy. This doesn't make sense to me. They have such a good filtration system. They say, run it until you hear or see or feel a loss in power. When you feel that loss in power, it's time to throw a new filter on. This is not a filter where we take it apart, clean it, right? We use it till we see a drop in power and we just throw a new one in. Don't clean it. This should last most people a year. A year? That's a lot of use. It is. They've tested this to get that sort of life. So when you feel that loss in power, don't pull it apart, tap it out, clean it, don't blow it with air. Come into your dealer, grab yourself a new filter, throw it in, and give this thing some new life. Filter maintenance, running water, running a good cutting disc. Don't burn this up. Don't really work this so that you screw the belt up. And then we do have a self-tensioning system on the belt, but if you need to, you can actually loosen these nuts, pre-tension this again, retighten those nuts, and allow that belt to continue in its self-tensioning way. So there you go, a quick overview of the Stihl TS 420. You've had one on your truck for a long time. I want you to have one on your truck for many years to come. Stop by your local dealership to learn more about the Stihl TS 420.